Morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing great, but there's a lot of Redditors out there who are not doing too great, at least when it comes to Battlefield 6. And they're throwing out some, frankly, idiotic points. Now, don't get me wrong, Battlefield 6 is absolutely not a perfect game. I think it's a great game, and I'm having a great time with it, but it's absolutely not perfect. There are multiple bugs that need patching ASAP, particularly that drone bug with the sledgehammer. Not to mention, Battle Pass progression is not the best. I honestly don't hate the idea of weekly challenges helping you complete the Battle Pass faster. The problem is the XP gain with the Battle Pass is just way too slow. Also, we're now on to week 2 of this season, and this is the second week in a row where the bonus weekly challenge that is worth an entire Battle Pass level by itself requires you to play the Red Sec mode, which is incredibly dumb. Now, if they want to have separate challenges for Red Sec, I mean, obviously that makes sense, right? But making the bonus challenge of the week a Red Sec challenge, which cannot be re-rolled, by the way, is just, I don't like it. People have been complaining about challenges forcing them to play certain ways and whatnot, and I think that really shows most with the weekly bonus challenge. Those should straight up just be like capture points or get kills or something like that. But whatever, you get the point. The game has issues. However, some people are taking issue with and are complaining about the wrong things, in my opinion. Now, I saw a video from Blame Truth yesterday in which he talked about this Reddit post titled "The Bait and Switch of Battlefield 6," which is quite honestly one of the worst things I've read in a minute, which is saying a lot. And somehow this multi-paragraph essay, which is pretty obviously AI generated, and if it's not, then this dude writes like an AI, which is not a compliment whatsoever, got over 21,000 upvotes. Thankfully, it seems like most of the replies are just making fun of it, but I wanted to take a look at this because it's bad. But before we get into this post, if you keep coming back to my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, then please consider subscribing. We're on the road to 30K, and I would greatly appreciate it. But of course, only do it if you enjoy the content. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this essay on how Battlefield 6 baited and switched everybody. Also, keep in mind the 2 pictures that were posted along with this essay, because they're going to be very important for this guy's point. Nothing illustrates the drastic tonal shift of Battlefield 6 from launch to Season 1 better than these 2 images. The launch branding felt like the core Battlefield we've all missed. The 4 anonymous soldiers, seen only from behind, communicated that this game is about nameless fighters thrown into all-out war. The gritty, desaturated color palette set the tone, a squad caught in the chaos, witnessing a massive event unfold. Exactly the kind of cinematic warfare moments Battlefield fans love. Okay, so my question to you is, what exactly is wrong with the Season 1 artwork? The soldiers are still nameless. Like, you do know if you go into the game, they're just called by their class names, right? It's not like they're putting named operators in the game like Call of Duty. It's not like the medic got his name changed to Jason or something like that. In fact, if you look at the subtitles in the gameplay I'm showing in the background, the subtitles show the players' names. You're not playing as an operator or a hero or anything like that. You're playing as yourself. So I don't really see what your point is right here, but maybe it'll make sense if we keep reading. Let's give it a shot. Then came Season 1. After barely 18 days of that grounded atmosphere, this new branding looks ripped straight from Call of Duty and seems to represent a broader shift. The characters now stand front and center, posing under studio lighting and each seemingly auditioning for their own hero franchise. The classic subtle orange accent from the launch artwork has been replaced with a loud, glossy orange that dominates half the frame. Well, I can say I was wrong. It didn't make sense as we kept reading. In fact, it only got worse. How is this not grounded? Is it because of the color orange? Look, man, I don't know how to tell you this, but the color orange kind of fits, not just with the BR because, you know, it's a fire zone that keeps closing, but also the newest map has a very orange, like, dawn/fire aesthetic to it. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, don't get me wrong. I think the map sucks, but not because of the aesthetic. I think it's just poorly laid out and it's too small. It seems like this dude is just allergic to any color that isn't gray. Like, for the soldier skins themselves, I kinda get it. Like, you know, I think orange on the soldiers would be a little weird, depending on how they do it, of course. But are they not even allowed to have some orange in their artwork? And this is part of the problem I have with complaints like this. Like, there are legitimate issues with the game. Again, I spelled out a bunch of them earlier. An actual good complaint is not, well, the aesthetic of Blackwell Fields is bad, and they need to fix that. No, the issue is the layout of the map sucks. You can literally get shot in your plane from the runway as soon as you spawn in. That's what I'm talking about. There are legitimate problems with this game. The color orange on the Season 1 artwork is not what I would call a problem. And dude, really, we're complaining about studio lighting? What, do you just not want any light on the characters on the artwork? Newsflash, in every piece of art, lighting has to be very deliberate, and that includes the original launch artwork for the game. I don't know, I feel like this is very picky and choosy. It feels like this dude just asked ChatGPT, hey, can you write me an essay about theoretically why somebody would be upset over the Season 1 artwork versus the original artwork for Battlefield 6. Anyway, let's keep going. The game can be fun to play, but it's simply not what was sold to us. We're only a couple weeks in, and EA are already backtracking on promises that make up the core Battlefield experience. I'm reminded of the first Battlefield 2042 trailer that convinced everyone DICE understood what fans wanted, and then, well, we all remember how that went. There is no way you're comparing Battlefield 6 to 2042 in terms of broken promises. Genuine question, what have they backtracked on? Actually, you know what? I can think of one thing. They had to backtrack the XP gain in Portal because people were abusing it. But here, you're talking about backtracking on aesthetic and atmosphere and whatnot, and I just don't see how that's been done. DICE, or Battlefield Studios, or whatever, I'm gonna keep calling them DICE, have literally deleted multiple skins from the game that people said were too colorful. Like that one blue skin that caused all that controversy. They took that out immediately because it got so much backlash. This is unironically the most overdramatic thing I've read in maybe weeks. Like, look, I get it. We want Battlefield to maintain its identity. Nobody wants it to turn into COD. I am one of those people. I have been very defensive over the last couple months of Battlefield just being Battlefield and Call of Duty being Call of Duty. But this is stupid. This has the same energy as those negative Steam reviews that are mad because there's a store and a battle pass in the game. Like, we knew that was gonna happen. Everybody with a functioning brain cell knew there was gonna be a store and a battle pass. Having a store and a battle pass in your game doesn't make it Call of Duty. It's one of those necessary evils for live service games. They gotta make their money somehow. Now, if the skins actually start to become ridiculous like what Call of Duty has done, absolutely, that's a problem. But acting all doom and gloom because of the color orange on a piece of artwork for the game is absolutely ridiculous. Let's go ahead and finish out this essay real quick. What we're left with now is a Call of Duty game wearing a Battlefield skin, marketed as a return to form for the Battlefield 3/4 era that never arrived. Honestly, this post is starting to make me feel like Wolverine when he and Deadpool were in the Honda Odyssey.
I mean, you are a ridiculous, immature, half-wit moron. I have never met a sadder, more attention-starved, jabbering little prick in my entire life.
Okay, maybe that's a bit extreme, but still, this is bad. In what way is this Call of Duty wearing a Battlefield skin? Because of the artwork? Because of the battle pass? Like, I'm so confused. And the game plays nothing like Call of Duty. Again, there's no operators, no goofy skins. It's classic Battlefield. You have your classes, you have your squad-based gameplay, you have your grounded setting. Like, I don't know what else you're looking for. There wasn't a drastic tonal shift with the game in Season 1. Like, you're actually just making that up. Stuff like this is legitimately problematic because we're getting to a point where some of these Battlefield guys are so dedicated to keeping Battlefield exactly how it should be, or how they think it should be, that in an effort to quote-unquote help the game, they're actually hurting it. If you complain about literally everything with this game, then they're gonna stop stop taking your feedback seriously. Skins being slightly too colorful, okay, sure, that's fine. Complain about that. Game-breaking bugs like the one with the drone and the sledgehammer, absolutely worth complaining about. Bad maps or poorly designed challenge systems, absolutely valid. But calling Battlefield 6 a bait and switch because they used the color orange in a piece of marketing material has got to be the biggest reach since Halo. That was a terrible joke, I'm sorry. Once you get to this level, it really feels like you're just looking for a reason to complain. And like I said before, at that point, why would they listen to you if you're just gonna complain about literally everything, even when it's fine? Now, don't get me wrong, there's cases where sometimes you do have to complain about literally everything, like 2042, for example. But despite what this post may say, this is not at all like 2042. 2042 was built from the ground up to not be a Battlefield game, and then they had to go back on all of that last minute. And the game felt like a weird battle royale slash Battlefield hybrid that just didn't work whatsoever. Battlefield 6 is absolutely a Battlefield game. Not a perfect one, but if it looks like Battlefield, sounds like Battlefield, plays like Battlefield, then it's Battlefield, not Call of Duty. But yeah, anyway guys, with all that being said, that is all I have for this video. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about Battlefield 6 Season 1? Are you with this guy for some reason and you think that it's just not Battlefield anymore? Or do you think that there's some issues, but it still is absolutely Battlefield? Because personally, that's where I stand. Also, really quick before I go, if you haven't yet, try the AK-205. This thing is a laser beam. Not the best damage, but I mean, you've seen in this video, no recoil and great accuracy. Thank me later. Anyway, guys, with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more. Join us every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on the gaming channel for gaming streams, and consider becoming a channel member if you want Discord access and awesome emotes, and I will catch you all next time.